Let us pray. Father Yahuwah, we thank Thee again for Thy loving kindness and Thy truth, Thy righteousness, all Thy care and Thy faithfulness through Thy mercy and grace. In Yahushua HaMashiach, Thy only begotten Son, we thank Thee for the privilege, joy, and opportunity to come before Thee today, Thy Sabbath, the last Sabbath of the 11th lunation of the year 6003. Help us, Father, to come before Thee in Thy word. Grant us hearing ear, seeing eye, Thy understanding, Thy knowledge, and Thy wisdom, that we may hear Thy voice and get to know Thee better. That way, we turn from ourselves and deny ourselves to walk before Thee in Thy character and Thy righteousness, Thy likeness, until that moment the perfection is formed in us, where Thy Son Yahushua's countenance be lifted up. Help us, Father, to come before Thee in purity. Cleanse us and cover our shortcomings, sins, transgression, trespassing, and all our iniquities by the blood of Yahushua HaMashiach. Grant also us focus, that we may stay up and pay attention to Thy word. In Yahushua's name we pray. Amen. Today is 29th day of 11th lunation, Sabbath, Bible reading and studying. We are going to read from Psalm 125, 126, 127, 128, and 129. Psalm 125. They that trust in Yahuwah shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be moved or cannot be removed, but abideth forever.
As the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so Yahuwah is round about His people from henceforth even forever.
For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands into iniquity. Do good, O Yahuwah, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts.
As for such as turn aside unto their crooked ways, Yahuwah shall lead them forth with the workers of iniquity, but peace shall be upon Israel.
Psalm 126, please.
When Yahuwah turned again the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream.
Psalm 126, verse 2. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, Yahuwah hath done great things for them.
Yahuwah hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad.
Turn again our captivity, O Yahuwah, as the streams in the south. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy.
He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him.
Psalm 127.
Except Yahuwah build a house, they labor in vain that build it. Except Yahuwah keep the city, the watchman waketh, but but in vain.
Psalm 127, verse 2. It is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so He giveth His beloved sleep.
Lo, children are an heritage of Yahuwah, and the fruit of the womb is His reward.
As arrows are in the hand of a mighty man, so are children of the youth. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. They shall not be ashamed, but they shall speak with the enemies in the gate.
Psalm 128.
Verse 1. Blessed is every one that feareth Yahuwah, that walketh in his ways.
For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee.
Psalm 128 verse 3. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house. Thy children like olive plants round about thy table.
Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth Yahuwah.
Yahuwah shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life.
Yeah, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel.
Psalm 129.
Verse 1. Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth. May Israel now say.
Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, yet they have not prevailed against me.
Psalm 129 verse 3. The plowers plowed upon my back. They made long their furrows.
Yahuwah is righteous. He hath cut asunder the cords of the wicked.
Let them all be confounded and turned back that hate Zion.
Let them be as the grass upon the housetops, which withereth afore it groweth up.
Wherewith the mower filleth not his hand, nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom.
Neither do they which go by say, The blessing of Yahuwah be upon you. We bless you in the name of Yahuwah.
Amen. Psalm 125. They that trust in Yahuwah shall be as Mount Zion, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. The definition of words are a tricky thing, because the same word can have many different meanings. It's especially true when you don't understand the context or the usual way, customary way where people use that particular word. This is why the definition is important, but also the connotation carries some weight too. The word Zion on verse 1, one of the most common meanings of that word means dry place or parched place, like desert, dry. But that's not the only meaning that it could have. Zion can also mean sunny place, lots of light. So you could understand them as a bright place. Makes sense. If there's a lot of sun, then it'll tend to get dry. If there's a lot of rain, it'll tend to get wet. So Zion is sunny place or dried or parched place. They that trust in Yahuwah shall be as a Mount Zion. See, sun is a requirement for any kind of life. But too much sun, you can't have life, because it'll exclude water. You need both the water as well as a light, right? In order to have any kind of meaningful life. Which cannot be Zion, which cannot be removed, but abideth forever. So Zion is another name for the city of David, city of beloved. David literally means beloved, city of beloved, or Jerusalem. Verse 2, as the mountains are round about Jerusalem, so Yahuwah is round about his people from henceforth, even for space ever. There is no forever in King James Version, because forever just simply means continuation of chronological time. Time itself is a commodity that Yahuwah made. It doesn't have to be there. Yahuwah can unmake it. He made it, he could unmake it. So forever or eternity okay, is a different concept than just long time. Okay. Now Jerusalem is made out of two words, Jeru and Shalem. Shalem, you should know, peace. Shalom. So what is Jeru? Well, Jeru is a English pronunciation. Hebraic pronunciation will be more close to Yaru. Yerushalem comes from the root word Yara, or you could say Yaru, Jerusalem. Yara literally means to study or to teach, or you could say to preach. So Jerusalem is to speak of, to teach, to preach peace. Yaru, and another Hebrew word that you should know, to know. Yada is very close. To know means to know intimately, like husband knowing wife. So I don't know the man, right? That means she's a virgin. It's not like I don't intellectually know what man is. So Jerusalem, or English word Jerusalem, is something to do with peace. However, how can anybody know peace when the Prince of Peace, the peace itself, Yahuwah, is not part of that picture? So this psalm makes it very clear that it is Yahuwah who is peace itself, has to be there in order to be Jerusalem, to be really teaching peace, speaking peace. That goes back with the Zion too. Parched, dry place will be no good for life unless the life itself was there. For the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous, lest the righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity. This is why the total separation is the must. It's a must. Sanctification, holiness, they all have that concept of separation, setting aside from what is righteous and what is wicked, what is alive, what is dead, okay, what is good, what is evil, setting them apart. Since Yahuwah is living life, good and righteous, anything and anyone that is separated from Yahuwah himself is cursed, set aside. Again, verse 3, for the rod of the wicked shall not rest upon the lot of the righteous. There is no commingle. Holiness literally means that, setting aside. And you cannot be cleansed or sanctified unless you understand the concept of holiness. The devil, the one who wants to kill all humanity, entire humankind, it is a sad state of man's mind that some people believe that devil favored them somehow. Devil cares for nobody. It wants to kill, destroy, and steal from everybody, because he knows he's doomed. He wants to wreak havoc on as many people as he could get away with. So his business is commingling holy things with the profane things, right things with the wrong things, living things with dead things, commingling. Remember Yahushua when one of his disciples asked him, Adonai, let me go and bury my father, and then I'll come and follow thee. Yahushua said, let the dead bury dead. Let the dead people be together with them. You, the living, come and follow the living. Not commingle. Verse 4. And the reason why, let's continue on verse 3 a little bit longer. The reason why Yahuwah will not let the righteous and wicked commingle is because if they commingle, nothing good ever comes to the wicked. You understand? If you commingle same amount of volume of water, 1 gallon each, boiling water and freezing water, and you combine exact same amount of water, okay? What would you expect the result mixture gonna be? It'll be twice in volume, but temperature will be somewhere in the between, right? Boiling and freezing, maybe somewhere in the middle, right? That means, per average, that the boiling temperature water has gone down, but the freezing water, right before it's freezing, so it's still liquid, that water temperature will come up. So if there's a loss of heat energy from one side, there has to be gain of heat energy on the other side. That's what you will expect. And you will be correct, at least in average. That's not the way it works with life and death. You get 10 people who's living, and you mix with the 10 people who are dead, you don't get 20 people half living, half dead. You understand? You know what's going to happen? You will get 20 people who are dead. When in doubt, you could experiment. Verify this. You get 10 good apple. You get 10 rotten apple. Put it together. What do you think will happen to those rotten apple? It'll get better as these get worse? No, they'll all rot. There is no wisdom, no knowledge, no praising, no understanding in grave. Grave is where dead people are, right? Death knows nothing. All it, I don't even want to say the word could do because it doesn't do it. The death does not do anything really, other than it makes other people dead. It's like disease, very highly contagious disease. And that's what verse 3 is telling you. If you mingle wicked and righteous together, righteous put forth their hands unto iniquity and they'll die, but nothing good will come for the wicked. It's not like they're gonna be less wicked. This is very, very important. Because if you understood this, then you will know why you got to keep yourself holy. If Yahuwah granted you understanding, knowledge, and wisdom, you have a duty to keep it. Not commingle with others. And go back to the way that business as usual. You got to keep yourself sanctified every day. It's not okay to go back on the quote-unquote weekdays and you commingle and become like everybody else. As if that's gonna do other people some good. No, it does not. Verse 4 continues with the same principle. Do good, O Yahuwah, unto those that be good, and to them that are upright in their hearts. These are two parts. Do good, Yahuwah, unto those that be good. And you could take that out and start another sentence. Do good, O Yahuwah, unto those that are upright in their hearts. You understand? The word "and" allows the writer to use this phrase, do good, O Yahuwah, unto, only once, instead of writing it second time. But it is there twice. Do good, O Yahuwah, unto those that be good. Do good, O Yahuwah, unto them that are upright in their hearts. Yahuwah responds to only those who are good. Yahuwah responds to only those that are upright in their hearts. Because the very same Yahuwah who's telling you not to commingle with the wicked, what do you think he's going to do with the wicked? He's going to commingle? What do you think? If a judge tells the criminal, I'm going to put you in prison because you have stolen other people's property, and then he turns back and steal other people's property, what kind of judge will that be? Sadly, oftentimes than not, that's what happens. The very same criminal penal system that condemns these people, they end up robbing the entire system, entire humanity, entire group of society. This is why you shouldn't expect 100% righteous judgment coming from this world. There is no such thing in this world. Everything is just a compromise. We need to wait upon Yahuwah to provide us, to deliver us with perfect judgment. Verse 5, as for such as turn aside unto their crooked ways, what's he going to do? What's Yahuwah going to do? Yahuwah shall lead them forth with the workers of iniquity. See? The dead should be put together with what? Dead. And that's exactly what Yahuwah is going to do. Living shall be put together with living, but peace shall be upon Israel. What is the literal meaning of Israel? 2 words. El. Isra. Isra is coming from the Hebrew word Sarah.
Prevailed for Elohim.
Yes. It literally means power Elohim. Power of Elohim. Yes, so you could translate into prevailer of Elohim. Yeah. Or one who prevailed against Elohim. Yeah, that's correct too. One who prevailed with Elohim. That's correct too. Again, words are tricky to find the definition because it depends on how it's used. But Sarah means power. So Isra means something pertaining to authority and power. El means something that pertains to Elohim, God Almighty. But peace shall be upon Israel. Shalom, Israel. Without the power of Elohim, do you think there will be peace in Israel? No more so than there will be life in parched, dry place, right? Which is Zion. And how could anybody teach Shalom in Jerusalem without the Prince of Peace? Psalm 126 continues, when Yahuwah turned again the captivity of parched place or sunny place, we were like them that dream, because we are all dried up like the dead man's bone, but Yahuwah reviving us. That's the picture. Without Yahuwah, outside of Yahuwah, there is nothing but death. But within Yahuwah, there's a life, there's peace, there's power, etc., etc. Verse 2, then was our mouth filled with laughter. Isaac. Laughter is Isaac, right? And our tongue with the singing. Singing is Judah. Isaac and Judah. People say Jewish this, Jewish that. And who is the real Jew but those who praise Yahuwah? Again, verse 2, then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. Then said they among the heathen, Yahuwah hath done great things for them. Who's them? Those who laugh in Yahuwah, those who praise Yahuwah. You understand? Those laugh means rejoice, right? One who rejoice in Yahuwah. And that's what makes them Israel. Okay, so laughter and singing is another picture of Israel and Judah. Singing is praise. Yahuwah, verse 3, hath done great things for us, whereof we are glad. If you are glad of what Yahuwah doeth, then you are part of Israel and Judah, Ephraim and Judah. Turn again our captivity, O Yahuwah, as the streams in the south. Yet last Sabbath we learned about Kedar, right? Psalm 120, Kedar, Meshech and Kedar, the south region. That I dwell in the tents of Kedar, south. In respect to Israel, geographically, south will be Saudi Arabia. Not Egypt. Egypt, in order to go to Egypt, you don't go to south. You got to go southwest, right? If you go straight down, it's Midian and Saudi Arabia, the largest peninsula in the whole world. Kedar, where the Bedouin tribes live. Bedouin, those people who have turbine, right? Riding camels, etc. Verse 5, they that sow in tears shall reap in joy. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. They that sow in tears shall reap in joy. Yes, these are the people who have participated in sowing the seed of gospel, word of truth. But verse 6 is a little bit more prominent. It tells you about a specific person. He that goeth forth and weepeth, bearing precious seed, shall doubtless come again with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him. Who's that? Who is this person, single person, who have gone forth and weeping, bearing precious seed, bringing precious seed? Who is this? Who shall again come back with rejoicing, bringing his sheaves with him? Who's that? Yahushua, Jesus Christ. Doubtless come again. Shall doubtless come again. So if you are doubting, is he going to come back? Not for you. Because it says, doubtless. Those who do not doubt, they're going to meet him. But those who doubt it, they're not going to participate in his return. And if just in case you are not clear about that, it tells you he's going to bring what? Whose sheaves? His sheaves with him. I try to teach you to pray for much fruit. Whatever Yahuwah granted you in terms of opportunity and talent, you must bear fruit, righteous fruit, so that our Adonai, Yahushua, could bring those sheaves with him. You better be with him. If you're all by yourself, it doesn't do you any good. Because he's the one who's going to grant you new body, the eternal body. Psalm 127, except Yahuwah build a house, they labor in vain that build it. Yes, this is speaking spiritually about your body. The house that is being referred on this verse is the eternal body, the glorified body that Yahushua is going to bring with him, to give unto his sheaves. So, unless Yahuwah build the house, they labor in vain that build it. Well, everybody's building some kind of house, some kind of body that they wish they could live in. But only Yahuwah's body is going to last forever. Except Yahuwah keep the city. Remember Jerusalem, Zion, that's a city. Unless Yahuwah keeps a city, what happens? The watchman waketh but in vain. Waketh means what? Not staying up. No, waketh means watching. paying attention. Vigilance. Okay? So when somebody dies, they hold a wake. W-A-K-E, wake. It's an event where they stay up and talk about that person. Oh, he was a good person, I wish I've known him better, blah, blah, blah. Watchman's wake is useless. Why? Because that city is going to be crumbled. The laborer who builds house is in vain unless Yahuwah builds house. Why? Because given enough time, everything's going to fall apart. Verse 2 continues, it is vain for you to rise up early, to sit up late, to eat the bread of sorrows, for so Yahuwah giveth his beloved sleep, his David sleep. Rest. Lo, children are an heritage of Yahuwah, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. It's not coincidence that Yahuwah is talking about sleep, and then immediately he talks about the children. The sleep was referred as rest. Right? Look at verse 2 again. It is vain for you to rise up early. It is vain for you to sit up late. It is vain for you to eat the bread of sorrows. Why? Yahuwah grants to those who he loves sleep. 3 things. Wake up early, sit up late, work hard. This is a generation. You wake up early. You're born. And you live as long as you can. Sit up late. Okay? And in between, you work very hard. But outside of threefold cord, what is it once you are dead? And then, verse 3, it reinforces the reason and mechanism how threefold cord is supposed to work. Lo, children are heritage of Yahuwah. And the fruit of the womb is his reward, Yahuwah's reward. But I taught you how to read those passages correctly. If you only think that his reward on verse 3 refers to Yahuwah's reward, you are not incorrect, but you are far from complete. His on verse 3 better be who? Me. It's my reward. Yahuwah gives me. Do you understand? It's his reward. Let me read it again. Lo, children are heritage of Yahuwah, and the fruit of the womb is his reward. One who is giving birth. That's his reward. Yes, absolutely, it is Yahuwah's reward. Yahuwah is giving him. Life comes from life only. Unless Yahuwah grants us to have children, we're not going to have any. Happy is the man, verse 4. As arrows are in the hand of mighty man, so are children of the youth. When do you supposed to have children? When you're old? What does it tell you? Does it say, as arrows are in the hand of mighty man, so are the children of old man? When do you supposed to have children? In your youth. When your body is young, strong. Happy is the man that hath his quiver full of them. The arrow. The quiver is where you keep the arrows. They shall not be ashamed. They meaning what? The arrows shall not be afraid or ashamed. But they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. They are the arrows, not the man. Okay? Because verse 5, happy is the man hath his quiver, it's singular. They shall not be ashamed is not the man, but the quiver full of arrows. The children that are properly raised and given proper guidance to grow under the leading of Yahuwah's spirit, Yahusha's spirit, they shall not be ashamed. And they shall speak with the enemies in the gate. Again, Psalm 127 clearly shows you the requirement. Well, I don't want to say requirement for salvation, because you could be saved outside of 340 cord. But that's like Lot's salvation. Lot is a picture of someone who got barely by the skin of his teeth. He himself is saved, but his family is destroyed. I don't want any of us to resemble Lot. Yahuwah willing, I'd like all of us to resemble Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, not Lot. Because what comes after Lot? What's the next generation of Lot? Moab and Ammon. You don't want to be like Moabites and Ammonites. Continue with the Psalm 128. Blessed is everyone that feareth Yahuwah, that walketh in his ways. That's what Jerusalem is. Jerusalem is studying peace. In order to study peace or talk about peace, you must fear Yahuwah and walk in Yahuwah's ways. So who do you think will end up living in the real Jerusalem? Think about it. The new Jerusalem. Who's going to be there? These people. Ones that fear Yahuwah and walk in his ways. Nobody else will be qualified to live there. Because how can you teach something to anybody what you don't know? Right? Verse 2. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Huh? Why all of a sudden working with your hands? Because fearing Yahuwah and walking in his ways is work. You can't just think about it, you have to live that way. You have to literally, physically walk that way. And Yahuwah is going to grant you reward based on how you walked. So, verse 2 is appropriate. It comes perfectly. For thou shalt eat the labor of thine hands. Happy shalt thou be, and it shall be well with thee. Continue with the verse 3. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house. Fruitful. She will produce many children. By the blessing of Yahuwah, the life itself. And she shall be what? Vine by the sides of thine house. What is a vine and house? How does vine, what do you call vines? Literally, it's not a tree. Vine is not a tree. Vine cannot survive unless there is a structure to hold it, right? Otherwise, it'll just crawl on the ground, right? It doesn't have a trunk to support its own weight. So how does the vine wrap around the side of the house? Doesn't it stick to the wall? It becomes one with the house itself, does it not? That's the picture. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides, plural, all around you, all around your house. Sides of thine house. You become one. It's a picture of marriage. Wife cannot exist without husband. Husband cannot exist without wife. If the house and vine is separated, house stands, vine lives, but there is no fruit. Right? Because vine has to crawl up the side of the wall in order to do photosynthesis so it could bear the grapes. That's why the farmers, when they do grape farming, grape farming, right? What do they build? They have to build the arbor, right? Support. So that vine could hang on top of it, so it'll get the sunlight and produce grapes. What will happen if they don't build the arbor, the house? and let the vine just crawl on the ground. Yeah, the vine might still survive, but can it bear grapes? No, it cannot. Why? Because first of all, you don't get enough sunlight, and even if you could, grapes gonna touch what? Ground, and it's gonna what? Rot. It'll rot away. So you need both. You need the support, or the house, also known as arbor, and grapevine. You need them both. Husband and wife come together to produce grapes. That's the picture. You see how Yahuwah really, really want us to be in this kind of form instead of divorcing and destroying family? Now, if that was just a one generational thing, then we'll be excused. We, meaning the entire humanity, will be excused thinking that, oh, what we got to do is just, husband and wife form marriage, and then they produce children, and then they go their own ways. That's not how it works. Okay, let's continue with it. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants round about thy table. Olive trees can stand and grow on their own. They got structure, trunk, right? They grow. They are not like vines. But they sit round about the table. You don't go disappear. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth Yahuwah. What is verse 4 telling you? Behold, watch carefully, behold, the man who lived like this is blessed by Yahuwah, because the one who lives like this is the one who fear Yahuwah. That's what verse 4 is telling you. Let me read it again carefully. Listen very carefully. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth Yahuwah. You could understand it this way. In this manner, Yahuwah is going to bless the man, one that honor and study Yahuwah. Do you understand? In other words, if you walked in fear of Yahuwah, truly studied his ways and walked according to his ways, your wife shall be clinging unto you like a vine wrapping around the house, producing fruit. Okay? And your children gonna sit around the table. They're not gonna skip out of town. What is Yahuwah's blessing? It tells you, behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth Yahuwah. Like this. Thus. In this way. And there is another catch coming up. Listen very carefully. Yahuwah shall bless thee out of Zion. In a parched place, in a dry place where you cannot live because it's too dry. But Yahuwah is going to keep you fruitful. And thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem, or Jerusalem, all the days of thy life. This days of thy life not supposed to end. It's supposed to go on forever. Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon power of Elohim, Israel. Children's children living like that. So how many generations? In order for you to be able to see the children's children live like this, wife becoming vine around the house, sides, plural, not one side, sides of the house, right? And the children like olive plants round about the table. How many generations would it take? Could you do it in 3? No, you wouldn't be able to do it in 3, could you? You got to have 4 generations. Because your children's children has to have his wife, right? And his children round about his table. You got to be able to see that. That takes 4 generations. Go and study Job. It tells you he saw 4 generations. Yeah, 3 is a minimum, but what Yahuwah is promising here is you're going to see 4 generations. This is the blueprint, the ideal case. If someone asks, so So if you don't have this, you're not going to be saved. That's not what it's saying. You could be saved. You could be saved just tonight. The one day you could be saved. But that's not the ideal picture. Right hand of Yahushua as he was on the cross, was he saved? Was he saved? Yes, he was. Yahushua gave his word. This day thou shalt be with me in paradise. He saved. Did he have his children round his table? Did he have his wife like a vine on the sides of the house? No, he didn't get any of those. Think about Lot. Is he saved? Yes, he is. Did he have wife on the side of the house? Or children like olive trees round the table? Did he see his children's children? But Lot is saved. Lot is saved. You know, it's a funny thing. People say, oh, but you know, you don't have to be like this. You could still be saved. That to me is like somebody who's smoking, right? And got lung cancer and took his lung out, one of the lung. So he got half the lung. And he's still smoking. I will never do that. I will never put my body in that kind of form. But the person says, at least I'm alive. If there's just so much opportunity, so much chance for you to do good, why would you pick a way that would be barely alive? You wouldn't do that. But apparently, many people choose that way. They think going to heaven is good enough. You know? Leave me alone. Don't bother me. I want to do what I want to do. I'm already going to heaven. I know Jesus Christ. He died for me. So I'm all set. So I'm going to live the rest of my life doing what I want. I don't want to live like his way, Yahuwah's way. Never mind, it says, behold, that thus shall the man be blessed that feareth Yahuwah. This is the way that is supposed to take place. I don't want it to take place like that. I'm happy just to go to heaven, okay? Leave me alone. I got a news for those people. Bible has a news for those people. Unless you accepted Jesus Christ today and you died, like the man on the right hand of Yahuwah on the cross, right? If you have a mindset like that, oh, I don't need to do anything more than just be saved and that's good enough. Those people are in grave danger. Because Bible is filled with ideas, filled with examples of being rejected by Yahuwah and Yahushua in his coming back, in his return, for those people who have behaved like that. Okay? Think about this very carefully. It is a question of the passage of time. Alright? The man on the right hand of Yahushua's cross, he had less than a day to live, less than 24 hours. So it will be impossible for that man to have any of these. He's already dying. So for that man, the best he could hope for is to be saved. And he was saved. But so many of so-called Christians, they've accepted Yahushua 10, 20, 30 years ago. And all those time they've been living outside of Yahuwah's will. I wouldn't want to be in that kind of jeopardy. I wouldn't want to put myself in that kind of danger, because there's a very, very real possibility that Yahushua upon his return is going to say, I never knew you. Depart from me, you workers of iniquity. But Lord, didn't we do these things? I've been going to church for 30 years. You're supposed to follow my Father's will for those 30 years. But I thought I was saved. You were saved 30 years ago. Why didn't you bear fruit and walk with me? Which master, which owner did you serve? Me or yourself? Do not think that it's the same scenario. Again, if you accepted Yahushua today and you die tonight, yes, that's fine. Yahushua's not going to say, how come you didn't have your wife like a vine around your house, etc., etc. He's not going to do that. You understand? And it goes same for us, looking forward, right? We don't know when Yahushua is going to come back. We don't know when our physical life is going to be over. Right? But we walk toward this goal. Because what we don't want to be doing is 30, 40 years from now, we are still alive and we haven't done any of this. Do you understand? Does that make sense? You cannot build 30, 40 years in the future once 30, 40 years already gone by. It's too late. The time to build that future is now. Verse 6 tells you, "Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children living this way, and peace upon power of Elohim." You cannot have any of these unless you walk according to the power of Elohim. It's the evidence of submission to His will. So anyone who thinks that they could live their own way for their entire lifetime, physical lifetime, and still go to heaven, they could. But based on what I've read from the Bible, there are just too many counter evidences that those who walk according to their own will is not welcomed by Yahuwah. Psalm 129 continues, many a time have they afflicted me from my youth. So this person, the psalmist, at this perspective, he's no longer what? He's no longer young. He has walked all this time. He has spent all this time. Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, may Israel now say. So walking in threefold accord way is not a popular way. They're going to afflict you. They're going to make fun of you. They will scorn you. Hey, how come you don't live like everybody else? Well, quick answer is because Yahuwah doesn't walk like everybody else. Right? My Father Yahuwah is nothing like this world. He has His ways. And because I'm His child, I walk according to His way. So what do? What do these worldly people end up doing? They afflict me. They make fun of me. They say things about me. Is it going to be any different? Think about it. If the worldly people never thought you're peculiar, you're not living according to Yahuwah's way, because Yahuwah's way is peculiar. Do you understand? How many men do you know who's willing to kill his own son for his enemies? Isn't that peculiar? Very peculiar, isn't it? Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth, may Israel now say. Many a time have they afflicted me from my youth. Twice, right? Yet they have not prevailed against me. Why? Because I stick to fearing Yahuwah. I stick to Yahuwah's way. If you walk in Yahuwah's way, who's gonna prevail against you? Huh? None. The plowers plowed upon my back. You know what plowing is, right? You put animal, in olden times, when they couldn't afford it anymore, people will have to do it. Somebody will have to pull the plow and so you're trying to dig, right? Till the ground. The plowers plowed upon my back, they made long their furrows. Affliction. Yahuwah is righteous. He hath cut asunder the cords of the wicked. This is what we are waiting for. Yahuwah is slowly but meticulously cutting away the cords. The things that used to tangle us up. It's Christmas time. That was one of the cord. Cut up. It's New Year. Another cord. Cut up. It's back to school. Cut up. Halloween. Cut up. All these things that people do and they force you to do, right? I mean, they don't physically force you, but they afflict you. They give you that evil eye when you don't participate with their plans. Okay? Those cords are being cut. Hallelujah. Yahuwah has shown us His method. We keep Sabbath. We don't care about men's holidays and traditions or passage of time or what is quote-unquote normal. Yahuwah is righteous. He hath cut asunder the cords of the wicked. Let them all be confounded and turn back that hate Zion. Okay, so Zion is sunny place, dry place. Not fit for life. What is sunny, dry place called in a word? One word. Desert. That's what it is. So Zion is literally desert. It's not fit for life. So people hate desert. They don't, because you can't live in it. But there's a really illustration. I mean, interesting illustration in the walk of Israelites for 40 years in the wilderness. Where did they walk around for 40 years? Desert, Midian desert, modern day Saudi Arabia. For 40 years. Barely anything, nothing really grows. They got little shrubs here and there. But basically it's all rocky, sandy, strong sun and dry wind. Not a place for living. Yet, through that passage, what does Father Yahuwah do? He provides more than 2 million people with food every day, water to drink, shelter to keep them protected, everything and anything that they need to live according to His way. That's a picture of Zion. And people of this world hate that. Is it any wonder 95% of the population in the world, they live where? Do they live in desert? Where do they live? Where are large metropolitan cities built around? Coastal area also. And if you are in the deep inside of the near what? Rivers. Thank you. We live in Johnstown because this is river. Kanama River runs through. Okay, there's another river that runs through too. 2 rivers join here. People hate desert. They like coastal region because coastal region usually connects with the river. Wherever the river, like a Nile River coming out of Egypt, Hudson River coming out to form New York City. Okay, Han River, Hangang for Korea, Seoul. Right? You look at it. That's where most of the people cluster together. So they don't like desert, dry place, sunny place. Let them all be confounded and turn back that hate Zion. It's not any desert. It's Zion. Yahuwah's pick. He picked this particular place where it would be impossible for life to be sustained unless Yahuwah grants all these amenities that living beings need. Let them be as the grass upon the housetops, which withereth afore it groweth up. You know, I've actually had a pleasure of cleaning some gutters. You know that some grass seeds ends up inside of gutter and they begin to grow. What little dirt that they have, they use it to grow. How long do you think they're gonna survive?
Wow.
Not too long, because the dirt is very shallow, right? So grass upon the housetops, which withereth before it groweth up. Afore means before. Wherewith the mower filleth not his hand, nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom. Neither do they which go by say, The blessing of Yahuwah be upon you. We bless you in the name of Yahuwah. Let's study verse 7 and 8 a little bit more. Wherewith the mower filleth not his hand, nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom. So, what does a mower do? Mower is somebody who is what? Cutting something down, right? You see around here people mowing lawn, which I never understood. Instead of having a lawn, we could have a garden, but that's a different story for some other time. Mower is somebody who's cutting something down. Okay? He does not fill his hand, nor he that bindeth sheaves. Oh, now we get it. So this is harvest time, right? Mower is somebody who's harvesting, and the one who that binds sheaves is what? Once the crops are cut, they have to bind it, right? So they could carry it. Neither do they which go by say, The blessing of Yahuwah be upon you. We bless you in the name of Yahuwah. Okay. When a mower is cutting, somebody who does not fill his hand. Think about it. This makes no sense. Wherewith the mower filleth not his hand. You have to fill his hand to cut it, right? Now, the Bible is not talking about mowing with some kind of machine. You gotta get something and cut it, right? Mowing. Nor he that bindeth sheaves his bosom. He does not fill his bosom. Well, why not? You would. So what about these people who are outside harvesting and they don't do these things? So it's a rhetorical point. There's nobody who wouldn't do this. Neither do they which go by say, The blessing of Yahuwah be upon you. We bless you in the name of Yahuwah. There will be nobody who will be like just giving empty, saying, Oh, God bless you, God bless that. That would be like mower who does not fill their hand and sheavers who do not fill their bosom. If you are harvesting your own crop, wouldn't you grab as much as you can? Right? There are people who say, The blessing of Yahuwah be upon you. We bless you in the name of Yahuwah. They'll keep saying those. But like the cloud with no rain, they do not what? Walk in Yahuwah's way. They despise Yahuwah's way. And they are like mowers who do not fill their hand. And they are like the sheep, people who bind the sheep and they don't fill their bosom. Once you tie the sheep, how are you going to carry it? You're going to carry what? As much as you can, right? You're not going to just carry one and the rest of them let it rot in the field. You're not going to do that, right? You're going to get as much as you can. Go back to what I was telling you. There are a lot of people who say that, it's good enough for me to be saved and go to heaven. In the meantime, until the day that I go to heaven, I like to live according to whose way? My way on this earth. They say, oh, blessing of Yahuwah is upon you. We bless you in the name of Yahuwah. But they never live according to the ways of Yahuwah. Do you understand what the Bible is trying to tell you? You wouldn't do that. If you were harvesting your own sheaves, you wouldn't just pick, oh, that's enough, I'm going home. You wouldn't do that. Why not? Well, you waited all this time to harvest it. If you don't carry your sheaves into your barn, what's going to happen? They're gonna be left on the field, and what's going to happen? Either rot or they get eaten by other animals. They're going to waste it. You are not going to do that. So why would you not obey Yahuwah's will all the way when you are keep saying, blessing of Yahuwah be upon you. We bless you in the name of Yahuwah. God bless America. Yet they never obey. Well, I don't want to say never. As far as going to heaven, they wish they could go to heaven. So I'll give you that. I'll give them that. A lot of people believe that, oh, Jesus died for me, so I'm going to heaven. I got this much sheep. That's enough. I'm going home. Oh, I'm gonna just cut this much. I'm gonna mow this much. I'm done. The rest of the 1,000 acres, who cares? Be careful, everybody. Satan could talk the talk. Satan could recite the Bible to make it fit his agenda. It's not someone who says, the blessing of Yahuwah be upon you. We bless you in the name of Yahuwah. That's not what makes person Yahuwah's child. Remember Pharisees? When that man who was given the sight was giving testimony about Yahushua, what did the chief priest and the Pharisees say? Give God the glory! Right? Remember that? Do not be deceived. Let's go back to the key verse here for today. Verse 4 of Psalm 128. Behold, watch, that thus shall the man be. Thus means in this way, like this. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed, that feareth Yahuwah. That's the key. If you live long enough, you could prove this. So many people say, God bless you, God bless you. Oh, Jesus died for me. Jesus loves you, Jesus loves you. Yet, they don't live like this. There is no blessing of Yahuwah. Because Yahuwah said, this is the way He's going to bless. How many people who call themselves Christian get divorced multiple times? Think about it. Is that what Yahuwah said? That's the way I'm going to bless you? Do not be deceived by lies of the devil. Anyone could say, Yahuwah bless you, we bless you in the name of Yahuwah, when in fact they don't walk in the name of Yahuwah. Verify, please. But there's a catch, right? You cannot verify what Yahuwah promises unless you know what Yahuwah promises, right? Let me just read that verse 3 one more time. Psalm 128 verse 3. Thy wife shall be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thine house, thy children like olive plants round about thy table. Table is where you eat. So how often shall your children be seeing you? Every meal. Every meal. I want to see my children on table every meal. For how long? What do you mean for how long? Until I see my children's children do the same thing. Verse 5. Verse 6. Yeah, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. I need to see my great-grandson doing exactly what verse 3 and verse 4 is telling you. And I can't do that if we're 3,000 miles away. You understand? Destruction of family is devilish ploy to destroy the humanity. All in the name of better efficiency. Oh, you could make more money if you get a job that far away. Forget the money. You got food to eat? Oh yeah. You got clothing on your back? Yeah, that's enough. You stay here. You stay here. Look for work around you. Yahuwah is going to provide work for you to do around here, so that you could stand and sit at the table. Do not listen to the lies of the devil. But we could make more money. You don't need more money. You need more Yahuwah, the truth. Yahushua said, you cannot serve two masters, two owners. It's impossible. Because you're going to like one or hate the other. You can't serve both. Like way, just like that, you cannot serve Elohim and Mammon, the money, the property, at the same time. You can't do that. Make up your mind to walk according to Yahuwah's way, His will. Then, when you say, we bless you in the name of Yahuwah, it'll mean real. It'll mean real thing. Otherwise, you're going to be what? Hypocrite. Hypocrite. I don't want you to end up hypocrite. 340 chords, again, written everywhere. That is the blessing of Yahuwah. Let us pray and continue to walk according to His way. Okay? Let us pray. Father Yahuwah, we thank Thee for Thy loving kindness. We thank Thee for Thy word, which tells us again that blessed is everyone that feareth Yahuwah. Blessed is everyone that walketh in Yahuwah's ways. We have collectively, the entire humanity, have been despising and ridiculing Thy ways, saying that, we could go separate ways, get a better paying job, move out of area, etc., etc., to be separated all over the planet. And we end up despising Thy word. We don't get around like olive plants round about the table. We are so stressed, pulled from a million different directions, because we have gone astray from Thy way, Father. Help us, Father, to walk according to Thy way, according to Thy will. Provide us with all the things that is necessary for us to walk according to Thy way. Help us to trust Thee. Believe in Thy words. Help us to do that, Father, because we do not have a faith on our own to believe Thee. We need Thy faith, Yahushua's faith, Father. Grant us that faith, so that we may bear much fruit. In Yahushua's name we pray. Amen.